Readers, just when you think you know everything there is to know about narrative nonfiction, bam, we're going to teach you something new today. Check it out.
Readers, listen to this new biography I found last night. On a hot, dry day in the desert, a bright red fruit falls on the tall saguaro cactus. Plop! It splits apart on the sandy floor. 2,000 black seeds glisten in the sunlight. When the air cools in the evening, an old pack rat comes out and eats the juicy fruit. Then he skitters across the sand. A seed left clinging to his whiskers falls off under a palo verde tree. It is a good place for the seed to drop. A spotted ground squirrel looking for something to eat does not see it. A house finch chirping high in the palo verde does not see it. After many dry days, a heavy rain falls on the desert. Soon, a young cactus sprouts up from the ground. Slowly, slowly, the seedling grows. The palo verde protects it from the hot summer sun and cold winter nights. After 10 years, the cactus is only 4 inches high. It is just big enough for desert ants to climb its spiny sides.
Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking? How could this possibly be a narrative nonfiction? It doesn't have anyone famous in it. I mean, it doesn't have any human in it at all. Let's see what our reading teacher thinks.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. All right. This book would not be found in the biography section of a library. But if you think about it, it is a story of a life. The life of a cactus seed. A text like this one is a special kind of nonfiction. Like a biography, these kinds of books fall under the umbrella of narrative nonfiction because they tell you a story. Today, I want to teach you that readers use strategies they developed for reading biographies on any text that is narrative nonfiction.
Yeah, remember third grade, biographies are what we've really been focusing on for our narrative nonfiction when we've been learning about Ezra Jack Keats and Abraham Lincoln. But biographies are just one type of narrative nonfiction. Narrative nonfiction doesn't have to have a human as its main character. The great news is, even though narrative nonfiction text can be different than a biography, we can still use all the strategies we've been practicing.
They read books about the life of a lobster or about colonists coming to Plymouth or about anything, just as they read stories, thinking about the subject's traits, wants, struggles. So I'm going to reread the section of Cactus Hotel one more time. And as I do it, think, who is this text about? What does the subject really want? What are its threats and struggles? Feel free to do a little jotting while I'm reading. On a hot, dry day in the desert, a bright red fruit falls on the tall saguaro cactus. Plop! It splits apart on the sandy floor. 2,000 black seeds glisten in the sunlight. When the air cools in the evening, an old pack rat comes out and eats the juicy fruit. Then he skitters across the sand. A seed left clinging to his whiskers falls off under the palo verde tree.
So, from what I've noticed so far is we start our story with a bright red fruit, 2,000 black seeds, an old pack rat who runs off and leaves a seed. So I'm wondering if our main character is going to be the seed because so far that's the only thing that has shown up in every part of our story. Let's find out more.
It is a good place for the seed to drop. A spotted ground squirrel looking for something to eat does not see it. A house finch chirping high in the Palo Verde does not see it. After many dry days, a heavy rain falls on the desert. Soon a young cactus sprouts up from the ground. Slowly, slowly, the seedling grows. The Palo Verde protects it from the hot summer sun and cold winter nights. After 10 years, the cactus is only 4 inches high. It is just big enough for desert ants to climb its spiny sides. So readers, what did you find?
Well, as I was reading, once I figured out that the main character was the seed, I realized that our seed had some challenges. Just like Abraham Lincoln had challenges and Ezra Jack Keats had challenges. One was a spotted ground squirrel. Another was a house finch. Both of those animals would like to eat the seed. Lots of rain. And then it solves that problem by taking in protection from the Palo Verde tree. Let's see if she agrees.
When I did this work, here's what I noted. I realized that my subject was the cactus seed, and its desire was to grow. But it had all these dangers, namely animals and birds that wanted to eat it. So it's using a tree to help itself. And I could jot using somebody wanted but so.
I love that she has this little organizer, somebody wanted but so. It really helps us make sure that the notes that we're jotting are important and valuable and helps us focus on the details in the story that we need for full understanding. So we're going to try that today with a different narrative nonfiction text. I wanted to just show you one more helpful chart that kind of guides my thinking while I'm reading a type of nonfiction that maybe isn't as obvious like a biography. So when I'm saying, who is the somebody in your story, now I know it doesn't have to be a human. What is the main character? What did they want? What was their purpose? But that's where those challenges come into play. What were the challenges that the seed faced? So how does it get solved? You're going to practice somebody wanted but so using a text about Pierre the penguin. Go to your next task and it's learning. Good luck.